So to start this mental martial arts training, I have a question for you. Simple question. Do you care? Do you care anymore? Or could you care less? Have you gone through your days lately noticing that you subconsciously or consciously say to yourself, in your self-talk, I don't care. I just don't care anymore. I could care less. Or you might say it out loud. You might say it to people, around you. I don't care. And that's convenient and an easy way to sort of throw your hands up, throw in the towel, and say, I just don't care anymore. When you're influencing, you are influencing your immediate world and the people around you, your family and your coworkers and your life, your world, your life, and your inner world. You're influencing that by certain attitudes and states of mind and being, states of body, self-talk. You're influencing it. Now, you're also being influenced, aren't you? You're being influenced by a cray-cray world, a world that has just gone mad, it seems like. There's so much negativity and so many things that are kind of out of our control. And if you're paying too much attention to them, it's just overwhelm and stress and overwhelm and more overwhelm and cray-cray that you just could throw your hands up and say, what's the point? I don't freaking care. Convenient, defense mechanism, but you gotta care. You have to care. You have to care about things if you want to live not just an exceptional life, but just if you want to live a life that has any sort of fulfillment for you, if you want to achieve things, you got to care. Because if you don't care, you won't achieve those things. And things matter, life matters, you matter, your life matters, the people around you matter. So let me come back and ask the question again, do you care? Because if you notice that you are someone where just somewhere along the line you stopped caring. Have you noticed that? Maybe it wasn't all at once. Maybe it was little by little. The goals that used to excite you, they don't excite you anymore. The hobbies that you once loved, they sit untouched. You don't do them anymore. The future that you used to dream about feels distant. And eventually, you find yourself wondering, what happened to me? Who am I? I've been there myself many times. There have been seasons in my life where I felt freaking exhausted, discouraged, burned out. And it's not because I was weak, not because I was lazy, but because life had simply taken its toll. Sometimes it's stress. Sometimes it's loss, sometimes it's disappointment, discouragement. Sometimes it's years of carrying responsibilities and solving problems and pushing forward, without enough recovery. You get knocked down enough times, eventually a part of you stops wanting to invest emotionally or energetically. The mind begins to protect itself. And it starts saying, if caring leads to disappointment, maybe I should stop caring. The problem is that while emotional withdrawal can protect us from pain, it also disconnects us from purpose and passion and personal growth. And as a mental martial artist, we need to understand something important. Most people don't stop caring because they become bad people. They stop caring because they become depleted. They're like a phone with too many apps running. What happens? The battery dies, right? And if your battery has died, you must recharge. And likely, you'll have to delete some of those apps that have been requiring too much of your energy. And you'll have to install a few new apps that actually give you energy. So if you've become depleted, there's a way back. Here's the deal. Caring, or access to caring again, rests on 3 pillars. Number 1, your physical state. Number 2, your mental state and your sense of purpose. That's number 3. When these pillars weaken, caring fades. When they strengthen, caring returns. So let's talk about the first pillar, your physical body. That's pillar number 1. Your physical body and your physical state. Before we talk about mindset, let's get into the body's set. Where have you set your body? One of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to solve an energy problem with motivation. They're exhausted, sleep deprived, dehydrated, inactive, eating poorly, under constant stress. Then they wonder why they don't feel inspired. The truth is that a tired brain and a tired body isn't looking for purpose. A tired brain is looking for survival. Now, I've noticed this in my own life. That's why I'm creating this video, right? When I'm sleeping well, exercising regularly, staying hydrated, and fueling my body properly, everything feels different. Everything. Challenges seem manageable. Opportunities become visible. I can actually spot them. My patience improves. My outlook improves. My attitude improves. But when those fundamentals deteriorate, everything becomes harder. Mental martial artists understand that the body and the mind are partners. You cannot consistently think your way out of a state that your physiology is helping create. Before asking why you don't care anymore, you got to ask yourself, how am I treating the machine that carries me through life? Am I right? So you got to, so I've said over and over again, if you watch my videos, you don't have a mind and a body. You have a mind body. They are not separate. What you feed your body, you feed your mind. What you feed your mind, you feed your body. How you exercise your mind creates certain biochemistry in your brain and your body. And how you exercise your body does the same for your brain and your mind. They're not separate. You can't separate them. So that leads me to the second pillar, which is, of course, is your mental state, right? The second pillar is your mental environment. And you've probably heard the saying, where the attention goes, the energy flows, right? Corny, but it's true. Remarkably true. We experience life largely through what we're focused on. And if we're focused on, what's wrong, life begins to feel hopeless, doesn't it? If we focus on everything that we've lost, life begins to feel empty. If all we focus on is bad news, conflict, fear, and negativity, that's the reality we begin to inhabit. Now, this doesn't mean ignoring problems. We know they exist. We're not denying them. But mental martial arts isn't about pretending that, everything is fine. It's about choosing where to direct your focus and your attention. The mind is like a garden. Whatever you water grows. If you're constantly feeding your mind negativity, negativity grows. If you're feeding it growth and learning and curiosity and possibility, those things grow. That's why I believe in reading and learning and meditation and prayer and reflection and personal development, which is what I'm all about. I believe in affirmations, training the brain the same way we train the body. A strong mind doesn't happen by accident. It's cultivated. But there's another critical piece, I would say. The mind needs a target. So we have to give our mind something to chase. Give your mind something to chase. Many people who stop caring don't have a goal problem. They have a direction problem. They've stopped pursuing anything meaningful. Think about it. What happens when a ship loses its destination? Out in the ocean, it just drifts. That's what many people are doing mentally, drifting. Not because they want to, because they no longer have something that excites them enough to move toward. The human mind is built to pursue. So is the human spirit. It's built to pursue and to learn and to grow and to expand and to overcome. Give your mind a meaningful pursuit, a challenge, and something remarkable happens. Energy begins to return. Interest begins to return. Engagement begins to return. You don't need a giant goal. You just need a direction, a skill to learn maybe, a project to build, a book to write, a dream to revisit, a mountain worth climbing, right? We like to challenge ourselves. The human spirit is kind of built on chasing challenges and overcoming challenges. So that's why I said a mountain. Give yourself a mountain to climb. It doesn't have to be a big mountain. And by the way, to climb a mountain, you just have to start step by step. Give your mind something to chase. Okay, the third pillar is purpose and meaning. And we arrive at, I would say, the deepest pillar. Purpose is the deepest or the strongest pillar, because goals answer the question, what am I doing? But purpose answers the question, why am I doing it? And that's an important question. What's your why, right? We've heard it before. Without purpose, achievement often feels hollow. Without purpose, discipline becomes difficult to sustain. Without purpose and meaning, even success can feel strangely empty. Purpose gives suffering context. It gives effort meaning. It transforms sacrifice into investment. You're investing in yourself. When I look at people who remain engaged with life despite setbacks and challenges and hardship, they almost always have a strong sense of purpose and meaning. They know what matters. They know who they serve and why they're serving. They know why they continue. Purpose doesn't have to be grand, huge, but it does have to be big enough to pull you forward. It can be your family, your faith, your community, your students, your art, your business. It could be any of those things and more. Your mission is to become a better version of yourself than you were yesterday. What matters is that your life stands for something beyond comfort and beyond convenience, and I should say beyond yourself. Because when life has meaning, caring becomes easier, doesn't it? So if you've stopped caring, don't assume that you've lost yourself. Don't assume that you're lazy or a bad person. Don't assume somehow that you're broken. Instead, ask 3 questions that will empower you. How is my physical state? How is my mental state? And what purpose is guiding my life? Because most apathy is not a character flaw. It's a signal that one of these pillars needs attention. See, the mental martial artist doesn't wait for motivation to magically return. They rebuild the foundation They strengthen the body. They train the mind. They reconnect with purpose and meaning. This is the foundation. Something beyond themselves, bigger than themselves. And little by little, something begins to happen. The spark returns. The engagement returns. The desire to move forward returns. And caring returns with it. And maybe it doesn't return overnight, not all at once, but one disciplined day at a time, one step up that mountain. Because caring isn't something you find. It never went away. It's not something you lost. It's just something that is the foundation, the structure crumbled. So you got to rebuild it. It's something you rebuild. And the rebuilding should start today. So what's some practical steps that you can use to begin to start caring today? At this point, you might be thinking, okay, Sensei Ron, I understand the 3 pillars, but what do I do actually tomorrow morning? Good question. Let's make this practical, because we have to. If you've stopped caring, don't try to overhaul your entire life tomorrow. Don't do that. Start with like these 3 little actions. Action number 1, repair your energy. For the next 7 days, for the next week, focus on 4 basics. Get adequate sleep, drink more water, move your body every day, eat food that fuels you instead of draining you. That's it. You don't need a perfect diet. You don't need a marathon training plan. You need freaking energy. Remember, motivation is often trapped behind fatigue. Your first mission is to give your brain the resources it needs to function properly. Action number 2, reclaim your freaking attention, your focus. For the next 7 days, spend less time consuming and more time creating. Read 10 pages of a good book. Journal for 10 minutes. Practice meditation. Learn a new skill. Study something that genuinely interests you. And here's the key. Reduce the amount of mental junk food you're consuming. The news, endless scrolling, what they call doom scrolling now, the outrage, the negativity. Your mind becomes what it repeatedly consumes, so feed it wisely. Okay, now action number 3 is run a purpose experiment. This is where most people get stuck. They say, I don't know my purpose. That's okay. Most people don't. So instead of trying to find your purpose, run an experiment. Ask yourself 3 questions. What activities make me lose track of time? Big one. What problems do I naturally care about? What subjects could I talk about for an hour without getting bored? Your purpose is hidden in there somewhere. Write down your answers and then choose one thing and spend 30 days exploring it. Not forever. 30 frickin' days. Do it. Volunteer. Take a class. Start a project. Learn a skill. Help someone. Build something. Write something. Write a book. Purpose is rarely found while sitting still. It's discovered while moving. And I'll add one more mental martial arts principle that ties everything together. The 1% rule. Here's the rule I live by. When you don't care, don't ask yourself to care about everything. Care about one thing. One small thing. Then do it again tomorrow and the next day. Most people think that caring just kind of returns like a lightning bolt, but it's my experience that it returns more like a sunrise, almost invisibly, slowly, until you realize that the darkness is gone. All right, start caring again. I hope you take these to heart, and if this content hits you upside the head, subscribe.